You saw in the last video that people can place natural objects in front of God. An idol becomes more important than the Creator. Although scientists don't worship items from nature, they spend their life analyzing them. This is a good thing since you realize many benefits from it. However, science gets to a point where the laws are put before the Creator, much like idols. Both idols and science act as stumbling blocks, keeping you from knowing God. As detrimental as these are, they are of less importance compared to the biggest hindrance, religion, and it can easily halt your progress to God. You probably recognize this guy, Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. Ned is the always cheerful religious fanatic that Homer doesn't like. There is something about Ned that you, too, don't care for. He is like too much syrup on your pancakes. It's all a bit too much. Flanders is probably sincere, but he appears to be a phony personality that pushes your BS button. There are many things that keep people from getting closer to God, but religion is by far the biggest. This is true for both believers and non-believers. Those who are trying to follow God are drawn down a rabbit hole of religious activities, and people who would otherwise seek Him out are put off by religion. By religion, I mean such things as the Crusades and the TV evangelists getting rich from gifts of the faithful. I also mean the local church that sits in the middle of your town. Each promotes a tribal culture that infers the members are good and the non-members are bad. So no matter how nice Ned Flanders is, the message is still, Ned is a good club member and you're not. Most churches teach their parishioners to pursue a victorious life. Their leaders want them to be winners and contribute to the cause of the winning side. They are asked to fight the fight, run the race, and win the war. These analogies imply that what they are doing is the one and only goal, and not to worry about their effect on others. If a member of the congregation is winning, God is blessing them. If they are falling behind, He is testing them. The means of measuring their position in the race has no clearly set parameters, but is interpreted by themselves and their fellow tribe members. Loose indicators of success are their financial health, a happy, healthy family, or a position of leadership within the tribe. All are signs of God's favor. The church's foundation is God in name, but a list of behavioral rules in reality. For example, one church's rules may include no drinking, smoking, or dancing. Others may emphasize feeding and sheltering the poor, and yet another may focus on the end times or some other prophecy. No matter what the tribe focuses on, the guidelines give the members a shared purpose and a sense of belonging. There is nothing inherently wrong with most church rules and activities. However, like idols, they can come before God. Parishioners have a hard time experiencing Him when they concentrate on other things. It is especially challenging when the list of rules is touted as being of or for God. Doing the church work blurs with the goal of knowing Him. Many people reject religion because of these superficial religious activities. A growing group in the United States are those who describe themselves as spiritual but not religious, SBNR. They make up about 20 to 25% of the population and are growing. Although the group contains some atheists and agnostics, most come from Christian backgrounds. They are ex-church attendees that reject the religion they were born into and opt for something different from Ned Flanders. People that are SBNR are more about seeking than defending, centered on deep than shallow, and focused on open than closed. They want to have beliefs that handle the big questions of life. They may not have all the answers, but they don't buckle with Sunday school responses to college-level questions. They don't answer tough questions with, "Do you want to come to my church?" Although they are not churchgoers, they are religious literate and can talk as easily about God with a church member as with an atheist. Although SBNR persons get a lot of things right, they do have a distinct problem. They often find themselves in isolation. Big questions about theology and philosophy swirl in their heads, but they have trouble finding anyone with whom to discuss them. They need a community of like-minded people. Unfortunately, that sounds a lot like a church, the very thing they rejected. Thus they go on alone or in a church surrounded by people who seem clueless regarding more profound thoughts about God. They think about Paul's criticism of the Corinthian church. He complained, "I gave you milk, not solid food, for you were not ready for it. Indeed, you are still not ready." The pastor must take blame for the lack of meat. Increasing member numbers seems more important than helping the congregation to mature. Jesus is the foundation for the world's largest religion, and yet it's ironic that he was hostile toward it. He called the leaders of whitewashed tombs nice on the outside but rotting on the inside. He was angry at those getting rich from religion and chased the money changers and dove vendors out of the temple. When he told the story of the Good Samaritan, he was teaching a non-tribal message, which is opposed to the idea of religious tribes. If you're in a church that serves only milk, what should you do? You are fortunate to find plenty of meat on the internet. I am suggesting some websites at the end of this video to get started, but you have to sift through with discretion in prayer. What are some of the sources you would suggest for seekers? Keep thinking, and I look forward to your feedback. Please leave your comments and questions below or contact me at my email address. Until the next video, remember humility, thanks, and joy.